excavation. I just finished last week to study the skeleton of Kiketi. We're situated in the Vemo Quartly region. The first excavation has been going in 1923, and I'm particularly interested by the second excavation of Kuftin in 1948.
1948.
Okay. Kiketi is a necropolis of the early Bronze Age, so you have a little plan here, and it contains more than 30 graves. The challenge is to find the bones, and the question is where they conserve the bones. And last year, when I come in, we found the bones on the museum, on the National Museum at Tbilisi, in this room, and it's contained in this box. With the help of Maka and Yogi, we can find the bones. So, the problem is that Kuftin has never published this grave. But I have some few information of the public in the Georgian publication was made by Papakadze, because it takes the diary, the field diary of Kuftin, and Kuftin makes some little description of the burial. And I would like to thank Yogi to make for me the translation to the Georgian to English. That helped me very well. So with the traduction, I can replace the three burial who have studied the skeleton. It's the burial 4, 5, and 6. So the publication says for the burial, all the burial was some pit grave, each over covered with mound of stone. For the burial number 4, it's mentioned that's a collective burial. And the part of the skeleton was concealed. It's just 4 skulls. For the burial number 5, it says there is a collective burial too, and it contains 7 individuals. But at this time, there is just 1 skull who was concealed. For the burial number 6, it's a collective burial too, and it contains 7 skulls. But I studied never 9 skulls, so there is a problem. And with the skulls, there is some infracranial bones and 4 maxillaries. So, like you can see, there is discrepancy between the publication and the material studied and conserved. And I have no picture for these 3 graves, so I can't make the description of the burial, and I can't analyze the funeral practice of these 3 burials. The question is where are the skeleton remains of the other 27 graves, and it appears that a part of the collection, and just only the skull, was conserved in the anthropological center. So I will see in the future and in my study in Tbilisi if I have time to complete this work. But I have some information for the rest of the excavation made by Papakadze. And I have information about the grave, and I have graphic documents. But the problem is the quality of the drawing for study burial practice, because it's, like you can see, it's very difficult to analyze the position of the bones and if there is some movement, and so my work can be very hard for this, but I have information, so that's good. And I give you an example of the publication. So that's example of the collective grave and the Kurarak ceramics who still with the human bones. Okay, so in conclusion, I can say that it's for the first time in Transcaucasia, burial practices are being studied with archaeo-anthropological methods, and it brings to light some funerary gestures previously undocumented, like calavan, to take some skull or the presence of bow or box. And my work is still on progress because I didn't finish my PhD, but I can see there is an evolution of the funerary practice during the time to the Neolithic, because at the Neolithic the burial was just some pit grave, and when you go down to the time, there is an architecture of the burial was made. And I can see some little difference with different country. For example, the burial of the kurgan of Menteştepe was put on fire. There is other example of kurgan of this type, but just in Azerbaijan and just in northwest of Azerbaijan. So that I can see some peculiarity in micro region of Transcaucasia and in the Kurarak's culture. So I would like to say thank you for all my colleagues in Armenia, Azerbaijan, and still in Georgia, because if they are not here, I can make my PhD. And I would like to say thank you for your attention.